What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Professor X with Professor X Perspective. For those of you chiming in for the first time, I want to say welcome. And to those of you who are returning viewers, welcome back. To those of you who are subscribers, I really appreciate it. We're going to do our best to keep moving forward. I'm enjoying myself with this, I promise you. This channel is primarily, it covers about 4 things: race, religion, relationships, careers. But the top 2 things that I really enjoy and am passionate about the most is relationships and race. And it's pretty close, just depending on the day. One could be a little higher than the other, but it's pretty close. I'm passionate about both. Being in America, happen to be a black man, it gives me a perspective that's going to be different than being in America and being, say, an Asian man or a Hispanic man or a Caucasian man. So all of those and all the other groups, not just to try to single them out, but all the other groups, everybody is going to have a different take, no matter where they are. So I like to discuss it because I think the better that we can understand one another and come with an objective listening ear, I think the better that we will be able to get along. I may do a little rant here at the beginning, but y'all tuned in, so I appreciate it. I sometimes wonder if the goal is to get along with one another. I really do. I mean, I'm not trying to be spiritual, but I do believe that there are powers that operate that wants to keep humanity divided. And if we're not careful, we'll be stuck in the same flow of always being divided. And I think that's why we have to sometimes slow things down and really listen to what everybody has to say that's not like us. And hopefully they can listen to us, who's not like them, make a couple compromises, come to some understanding, and we'll be able to get along just a little bit better than we did, say, 10, 20 years ago. That would be a great thing, right? In a perfect world, if we could eliminate a lot of things little by little by little by little and come to a better understanding of one another. So today I want to talk about race, particularly with the black people. As you can see from the title, the word of the day is idiom. Idiom. And it's going to be my rant on the DEI boycotts. For those that don't know what DEI is, I'm not going to go into a whole breakdown of it, but look it up because it is a lot that's going on in the United States today that surrounds that topic. So definitely, if you're not aware, look it up. But the meaning behind it is diversity, equity, and inclusion. That's DEI. And it's pretty much the way I look at it, and it probably is. It's a form of affirmative action for the most part, as it relates to the normal, the average person. It's a type of affirmative action that allows businesses and companies and programs, money and quotas to be met by businesses where so many minorities, be it, race, gender, sexuality, there would need to be a portion or a quota of that within the business. And a lot of companies had signed up to that and agreed to that. That's what's all going on. Now this is not a political channel. I don't care. I promise you, I do not care who people vote for, because that's their right. And everybody that votes for whoever they vote for has their reason for why they do it. Nobody that we vote for is going to be perfect. And if we wrote down our personal views and desires and then compared it to whoever we have to vote for, 80% of whatever we wrote down, no candidate probably would be about that anyway. So I don't get caught up on which side people are on. If you want to know Professor X's side, I'm almost 100% independent. That's just me. And I just deal with whatever. I put my dad's name down if I have to. But that's just me. I try to be, I try to just think a little different. Don't get caught up. So this channel is not a political channel. I'm not going to talk about politics today. I do want to talk about the DEI boycotts, which has come as a result of some things that our president has put into place, signed some orders on, and a lot of major companies begin to step away. They had those systems in place. They kind of started stepping away and not funding the money, let's say, towards, inclusion or minority situations or quotas. Not saying that they would not continue to hire it. It's just not mandatory to necessarily have to do so. A lot of major companies started stepping away. Now, with that out the way, on my video, Black Lives Matter, I talked about how if we're not careful as a black community, we can react so fast when things happen that we feel is against us by someone who may not look like us, that we don't really think, and we just take off into action. I talked about how at the time, if I had got pulled out of my car and hurt bad by a police officer, law enforcement, that did not look like me, that chaos would break out pretty quick when it hit the news. People would march and shirts would be made and hats would be made and bracelets and paraphernalia would be passed out. And I was saying that we can do all of that when something happens, but within our own, we're not really accountable to police up ourselves. That was in the Black Lives Must Matter to Black People first video. And I want to talk today about an idiom. An idiom, by definition, is a phrase that has a figurative or non-literal meaning that is different from the literal meaning of each word in that phrase. So we may not know that definition, but we do know when we have heard it. For example, if somebody says, "I need you to spill the beans," that's an idiom. They don't really want you to open up a can of beans and pour it out. They need you to tell the secret that you're holding on to. If somebody says, "Go break a leg," that's an idiom. They don't really want you to fall and break your leg, but they want you to do a great job and they're wishing you luck. I have an interview today Somebody says, Professor X, go break your leg. That means do a good job, I wish you well. Idiom. The one I want to focus on is knee-jerk reaction. A knee-jerk reaction. An emotional response to something where you react before you think. That's the word of the day. The idiom word of the day. Knee-jerk reaction. There was a situation that happened, I believe back in 2014 in Ferguson, Missouri, which is a suburb of St. Louis, where I went to college. And a young brother was taken away from us from a situation with law enforcement where supposedly he had his hands up saying, please don't fire, please don't fire. I'm trying to use certain words here for YouTube's sake. And six rounds at least caught the front of him. May he rest in peace. And when that happened, I was on the East Coast in the Carolinas. I already knew it was going to get nasty. I took vacation and flew to St. Louis just to try to be of some help and encourage the people not to do anything crazy. Because I already knew, just from having lived in St. Louis, the spirit of St. Louis is it has an old-fashioned spirit. And it wouldn't take much to set that city off, as in most major cities. So they're not special. Most major cities can be tight like a rubber band, and it won't take much to set the place off. So I went out there I knew that a certain group would be there, and I was just joining up with them. And I seen knee-jerk reactions from us. The situation that even had law enforcement called in the first place was done at a gas station that's normally in the Midwest. We call it QT, but it's the Quick Trip. When I was in college, you could get a big old cup, 60-something ounces for like 88 cents. I mean, you can still do that at some places now, but yeah, back then that was, you could get a big old drink. We would drink one of those so we could stay up and study. But it happened at a QT, Quick Trip. The next day after the incident, our people burned it. The Walmart in that area, us showing our disgust for what happened in a town or city that we lived in, at a Walmart we shop at a Walmart our family has to shop at. Our moms, our sisters, our fathers, our grandmothers have to shop at, to show our disdain for what we considered and was injustice. Because I believe later the gentleman that did the firing was let off free. So we can see where there would be some injustice. Of course, you wouldn't know that yet because the case had not happened yet, but you could assume that nothing would be done because of what we have seen before, and riots and heavy protests that took place. And I'm saying to them, look around you. You're not really doing anything. You're destroying your own neighborhood. Nobody is going to take you serious. destruction in your neighborhood, destruction in any neighborhood, it's going to get attention, but you're not going to be taken serious. It's going to get attention, but now we have to look for the perpetrator. So the focus is not going to be on the cause of why you did it, but the crime that was committed, and the perpetrators now has to be found. So you're going to get attention, but there's no cause behind it. You're gonna lose the fight. Knee-jerk reactions. I can't believe this happened to us. And I believe the young man was young man under 21. I can't believe that this happened. And we move in emotion before we think. Knee-jerk reaction. Popular gas station in St. Louis, burned it. Walmart lit it up. Okay. The president signs an order. Some of the main companies, Walmart, Amazon, Lowe's, Starbucks, Target, Meta, which is Facebook, just said we no longer will do it that way. If they were sending money to minority situations, they said we're going to pull back on the money that was sponsoring some of these programs. I'm not saying that was the right thing for them to do. Just listen to me. And our knee-jerk reaction, not everybody, but however many it was, I'm just giving my rant on that. Saw this on Facebook. Somebody has sent a whole list of companies to boycott and avoid. Instead of going to Target, they say go to Costco. I put Costco in my phone to see where was the nearest one. And from where I'm sitting right now, I'm an hour and 10 minutes away from the nearest Costco. And I'm in a fairly large town that probably has city, probably have 200 to 250,000 people within the surrounding areas and here. The whole list: boycott, Lowe's, Target, Amazon. Why? Because they have gone back on the DEI program. And I guess we feel like they will no longer have to hire us or give money towards what we're interested in. So to show them, let's boycott them. Let's not spend our hard-earned money in these businesses because of the decision that they have made. Think about that. These businesses that we're talking about boycotting, and I say we because it's just, I'm sure just a few among us, I looked up 2 or 3 of them. I looked up how many minorities work for Walmart, how many minorities work for Amazon, how many minorities work for Target. I looked it up. I Googled it. These companies have a fairly high percentage of minorities, particularly blacks, that work for these companies. So when you say boycott them, we've got our own people working inside these businesses. We're not boycotting businesses that was established by the person who gave the order. We're talking about boycotting businesses that we have frequented for years. I done got to the place now, Walmart bring my food to the door. I don't even have to go to, because especially here, and I'm sure it's that way everywhere, Walmart here, after 7 o'clock at night, I hope you got on body armor. Those that know. Hope you got on body armor. So I'm getting too old for that. Getting too old. I can't run like I used to. And I'm sure my reaction with my hands ain't what it was. Even though I may think they are, I'm sure they not. So they send mine to the door. Starbucks. Amazon. The #1 shipping, packaging, supply business probably in the world, can get you just about anything if you got Prime within 2 days, that employs thousands of minorities. And then Facebook. I'm reading this post on Facebook to boycott businesses that includes Facebook, and the person that's writing it is on Facebook. Knee-jerk reactions. Because we don't have, or we lack, or we refuse to use our ability to think. And as soon as we feel that someone that's not like us is threatening us, or threatening our rights, or threatening, these people are not telling the minorities tomorrow you got to go find another job. Let's deal with what comes. We think we can see the future. That's the thing. We think, well, y'all don't know what's coming. It's coming, so we got to protect our rights now. That goes back to what I was talking about in Black Lives Must Matter to Black people first. We can see the future of what somebody else supposedly is going to do, but we see what our own is doing now, and we ain't boycotting nothing. It's a knee-jerk reaction whenever somebody do something against us that don't look like us. Now we want to get all rowdy and just start making decisions that don't make no sense. All them companies, Lowe's, John Deere, Harley, Davidson, all them companies employ major amounts of minorities. Probably more than, as far as black people, they all probably employ more blacks than as far as the percentage per capita than what the percentage is in America. So let's just say with 13% just blacks, they probably employ 20, 28, 29%. They're doubled. Most of the top 3 that I looked at is doubled what our percentage is in the population of the United States. Knee-jerk reaction. I'm going to show them. What you going to show them? And when you pass them by, what black business are you going to take your money to show them we don't need you? Tell me one black business that's in every city that can get us the things that Target, Walmart, and Lowe's, just those 3, can get us. If we have to boycott those things, so we got knee-jerk reaction going on, then now we got to make a move because they messing with the affirmative action plan. So we got to make a move now. Well, when I pass Starbucks and I can't get my Ribbon Crunch, where is the black coffee shop that can sell a product that's as good as that Ribbon Crunch with extra caramel, that nice ice, and don't cost me $3 more that I have to pay just to say I support black business? And I understand that those businesses are smaller, so they don't necessarily have the backing, so the price may be a little high. I get all of that. But at the end of the day, y'all understand what I'm saying? Knee-jerk reaction. We got to slow it down, and we have to think. What's really going on here? Instead of, I'm not saying that everything that's done is right and we should just walk around ignorantly and do nothing. No, I'm not saying that, but I am saying that if you're that passionate enough to have 10 stores on the list to say that we should all boycott these stores and these businesses to teach them a lesson. Some of these businesses have black brands in those businesses. Target allows and has several brands from African American people, and their products are sold in that store. So when we pass by Target, we're passing by our own. Just my perspective. Let's just think. That's all. That's all. If we go to get a job, and because this is what we feel like. I'm going to go to get a job. They're not going to give it to me no more because I'm black, and all the white people going to get all the jobs. I done seen unqualified whites. I done seen unqualified blacks. And if people are running a business, please believe me, they want the best qualified for the job. And we shouldn't need a program to force them to keep 20 of us there out of 100. If it takes a program for you to keep me there, I don't need to be there. So watch this. Here's the time for the thinkers to rise. When we get to that point, if we get to that point, which I doubt, but let's say that day come where we are at that point where they don't want no black people working for them no more, no minorities working for them no more, and they're going to fill all the businesses with just their own kind. Then it's time for the business thinkers of the minorities to rise up and create businesses that can compete against the other businesses that's already there. That's what has to happen. In times of crisis, thinkers will rise and create solutions, but not this knee-jerk reaction that has no meaning and no substance behind it. So, Professor, that's what you're going to do. I'm not going to do it now because I'm trying to keep my calories down. I'm already drinking this soda, but I thought earlier I'm going to go to Target. I'm going to buy me a little something. When I check out, I'm going to go through the register of a Caucasian woman. The Target here got a Starbucks in it. I'll go get me a Ribbon Crunch, and hopefully someone from the alphabet community can serve me, and I can ask them how's their day. And on the way out, hold the door open for an elderly black woman. And thank God that I live in America where I can appreciate diversity. Because I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't want to live in a place that was not diverse. I done been several places all around the world outside this country. I know how it feels. I wouldn't want to live in America is the greatest nation in the world. So that's what I would do. At the register with a Caucasian woman, how you doing, ma'am? Hope you have a great day. At the Starbucks counter with the alphabet community, what's happening, bruh? Put a little extra care, a little drizzle on there for me, homeboy. And open the door for an elderly black woman. And thank God I live in America. Holler at me in the comments. I know y'all are.